Let's kick it off with a big story of the day, and we begin with a Fox 5 news alert because it's the frantic search for a missing college student from Northern Virginia. It continues at this hour. The 20-year-old was last seen days ago while on vacation in the Dominican Republic. In just the past hour, Fox 5 learning that while the investigation of any potential criminal activity continues, search crews are now working under the assumption that this missing young woman was with friends on the beach, got near the water, and then swept into the ocean. We've got Loudoun County Sheriff Mike Chapman with the details. Sheriff, good to see you. Just for the sake of clarity here, this is a young woman who attends the University of Pittsburgh, was down there on vacation with friends, but she's from Northern Virginia. She's from your neck of the woods.
That's right. She lives in Loudoun County here. She's a resident of Chantilly, so this is very important to us and certainly very important to the family. We want to make sure we get some resolution to this case.
What do we know so far about the investigation and where we are as we see her picture as she remains missing at this hour?
Well, I mean, certainly our thoughts and prayers are with the family. We want to make sure that we're doing everything we possibly can on this. We're working very hard on it. Working with the authorities down there. I think it's a little presumptuous to assume at this point that she was swept away. We don't know any of that just yet. I do know the Dominican authorities are conducting interviews with the folks that were down there that were friends and others that they may have been in contact with. We're working with the FBI, our State Department down there, other agencies, HSI, DEA, other folks down there that are trying to uncover whatever technical assistance that we can get down there when it comes to phones, text messages, you name it. We're trying to work through all that. And we're working, obviously, with the Indian Embassy and the University of Pittsburgh Police. So we have just a comprehensive team working on this from an investigative standpoint. And, of course, as you know, Dominican authorities they got helicopters out, they got boats, they got drones. They're doing everything in their power to see if we can locate her.
Since she's from our area and you guys are involved, will someone from our area go to the Dominican Republic and assist?
We don't need to do that because, you know, the federal authorities are already down there. We're I mean, probably minute-by-minute communication with our folks down there, and they're in communication with Dominican authorities down there. So we don't need to send anybody. We're working with the family up here and with a friend of hers that also traveled there and her family. So we've reached out to both families here. We want to make sure that we're staying on top of it on our end up here in Loudoun County.
Her name is Sudiksha Konanki, 20 years old, from Virginia. What's the latest timeline that you have, Sheriff, as to her disappearance and when the family was first alerted? And because it's certainly ramped up, at least in attention, but this has been ongoing for some time now.
Well, the last information that we have was at 5 a.m. or about 4:50 a.m. on Thursday morning is when she was seen. I think there was some camera footage on that. I have not seen it, but there was some camera footage that puts her down on the beach at that particular time. After that, she was reported missing, first to Dominican authorities and then later to the family here. We found out about it at about 5 o'clock Thursday night and immediately got on it and tried to develop what information that we could. And then certainly over the weekend, I was in contact with our federal counterparts who were in contact with State Department officials down there and, Indian embassy officials down there because she's a native of India, but she's also a permanent resident here in the U.S.
Sheriff, we know that there has been talk here in the last few hours, at least from authorities down there, and I don't know if that's coming from the FBI or for the Dominican Republic authorities, that potentially she was swept out to sea. It could be an issue there. You're saying that it's too early to tell right now. What information do you have or don't have to say that we can't make that assumption that we're being told?
Well, I think that's speculation at this point. They're interviewing people that were with her at that particular time. I wouldn't jump to that conclusion just yet. I don't have any information that refutes that, but I also don't have any information that supports that. We want to make sure that whatever we get is accurate. We want to make sure that we don't jump the gun on this. We also want to respect the family as well. I mean, we don't want to jump the gun on something that may not have even happened that puts them, in a tizzy. We want to make sure that we're doing everything that we can to get it right, to get the information correct before we go ahead and report it to the media.
All right, Sheriff Chapman, we
Thank you.
appreciate you coming on the DMV zone and certainly putting out her picture and making sure that most people can hear about this and know what's happening and at least with the latest information. Sheriff Chapman, thank you, certainly.